Peace Okon had always been known for her silence, not the awkward silence of someone who had nothing to say, but the calm, guarded quiet of a girl who had been taught that words were precious than action, even more so. At 16, Peace graduated from secondary school with good results, neat handwriting, and a reputation that followed her like a shadow. That church girl. Her parents, Deacon James Okon and Deaconess Ruth Okon, were pillars in their local church in Oyo. Their lives revolved around early morning prayers, evening devotions, choir rehearsals, and Sunday services that never ended on time. Peace grew up in a home where the Bible sat open on the center table, where television was monitored, and where going out required explanation, permission, and prayers. They loved her deeply. That much was true. They protected her from what they believed would corrupt her soul. No sleepovers, no late nights, no parties, no boyfriends. Her world was school, church, and home. In secondary school, Peace was that girl who always sat in front. She never skipped classes, never joined gossip, never laughed too loudly. While other girls talked about their crushes, fashion trends, and weekend outings, Peace talked about assignments and Sunday sermons. Eventually, they stopped talking to her at all. "She's too boring," they would whisper. "She thinks she's better than everyone." Peace heard it all, but she said nothing. She told herself she didn't care. Yet every time she sat alone during break, watching others laugh in clusters, something inside her ached quietly. So when her WAEC results came out and she gained admission into the University of Calabar at just 16, everyone rejoiced. "My daughter is going to the university, oh," Deaconess Ruth announced proudly in church. Peace smiled politely as church members congratulated her. Inside, her heart beat fast, not just with excitement, but with something else she couldn't name. Freedom, perhaps, or the hope that finally she would belong somewhere. The University of Calabar was far from everything Peace had ever known. The campus was loud, colorful, and alive. Music blasted from hostels. Students dressed boldly. Short skirts, ripped jeans, and dyed hair. Couples walked hand in hand openly, laughing without fear. It felt like another country. At first, Peace was overwhelmed. She shared a room campus with three other girls, Mira, Sade, and Blessing. They were older, between 19 and 22, and everything about them fascinated Peace. They wore makeup effortlessly, spoke confidently, and seemed to know exactly how the world worked. On Peace's first night, while she carefully folded her clothes and arranged her books, Mira laughed. "You're arranging like my mother," she teased. Peace blushed. "I just like things neat." Sade studied her closely. "You're very young. How old are you?" 16. They all screamed. 16? And you're already here? Wow. For the first time in her life, Peace felt admired. The admiration became addictive. Her roommate asked about her strict parents, her church life, and her quiet nature. "You didn't leave at all before coming here," Blessing said one evening. "University is where you finally get to breathe, girl." At first, Peace resisted. When they invited her to parties, she refused politely. When they drank alcohol in the room, she stayed on her bed, pretending to read. When they talked about boyfriends and big uncles, she stayed quiet. But loneliness is a patient enemy. Her parents' calls became shorter, filled with warnings rather than warmth. "Don't follow bad friends, oh. Remember you are a deacon's child. Focus on your studies." None of them asked if she was lonely. In her hostel room, Peace often lay awake listening to laughter from other rooms. She watched her roommate dress up, go out, return with glowing stories. She stayed behind, scrolling through her phone, feeling invisible. She didn't want money. She didn't want money. She wanted to feel chosen. One Friday night, her roommate dressed up to attend a party on campus. "Just come and sit," Mira said gently. "You don't have to drink or dance." Peace hesitated, then nodded. That night changed everything. The party was loud and bright. Music thumped through her chest. People laughed freely. No one looked at her like she was strange or boring. Someone complimented her dress. Someone asked her name. When a drink was placed in her hand, she didn't refuse. The alcohol burned her throat, but you also losing something inside her. She laughed, really laughed. She danced, clumsy at first, then freer later. For once, she wasn't that quiet church girl. She was just peace. After that night, the invitation continues. Parties became weekends. Weekends became habits. P started dressing like her roommates, talking like them, laughing louder. They praised her transformation. "That's our girl. Go, girl." But beneath the noise, loneliness still followed her. That was when she met Uncle Kola. He wasn't loud or flashy. He was calm, observant, and older. He noticed when Peace sat quietly at parties. He asked about her studies, her dreams, and her fears. He listened. "You are different," he told her one evening. "You are not like these other girls." No one had ever said that to her in a good way. He called often, checked on her, encouraged her. When she was confused about school, he advised her. When she felt overwhelmed, he reassured her. Peace felt seen. She began to rely on his attention, his messages, his presence. Being with him made the loneliness disappear, even only for a while. She ignored the small voice inside her that warned her. When the pregnancy test showed two lines, Peace's wall collapsed. Uncle Kola slowly distanced himself. His call reduced. His concern faded. "I'm not sure it's mine," he finally said. Her friends avoided the topic. The loneliness returned, heavier than before. Peace couldn't hide it for long. Morning sickness disrupted lectures. Her body changed. The university noticed. Then her parents. When the King James arrived in Calabar, his shoulders looked heavier. Her mother cried quietly as Peace confessed everything. There was no shouting. The silence hurt more than anger. Peace withdrew from the university. Soon after, she returned home pregnant, ashamed and broken. Church members whispered again, but this time around with pity. The girl everyone thought was boring had only wanted to belong. At night, Peace lay awake, remembering the girl she used to be and the choices loneliness had pushed her into. But somewhere beneath the regret, a quiet strength remained. Her name was Peace, and her story was not over. Thank you guys if you listened to the end. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends and family for more amazing story.